You are sitting in a cafe. It is 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Look to your left. A man in a suit is thumb-scrolling with a velocity that suggests panic, his neck bent at that familiar, submissive 45-degree angle. Look to your right. A student has a laptop open, an iPad propped up, and a phone in hand, eyes darting between three distinct planes of glass. They are vibrating with static energy. They are everywhere, and they are nowhere. Now, look down at your own hands. You have a pen. You have paper. You have a single linear train of thought that is moving like a freight train, heavy, unstoppable, and entirely yours. You feel the grain of the table under your forearm. You smell the roast of the coffee. You are the only person in this room who actually exists in 3 dimensions. This isn't nostalgia. This isn't a reenactment of the 1990s. This is a competitive advantage so severe it almost feels unfair. While the rest of the world has voluntarily uploaded their consciousness into a chaotic, algorithmic slipstream, you have chosen to remain grounded in the physical substrate. You are operating in high fidelity while they are buffering in low res. Welcome to the offline renaissance. Today, we are not talking about digital detoxes or touching grass for your mental health. We are talking about analog existence as the ultimate strategy for elite cognitive performance. We are going to build what I call the Analog Citadel. I'm going to show you exactly how to build it. Before we lay the bricks, we must understand the terrain. Why is the digital world eroding your sovereignty? The German philosopher Byung-Chul Han speaks of the Burnout Society, a world where we are exploiting ourselves voluntarily. But I want to cross-reference that with a concept we've discussed here before, the pathology of relevance. The digital world demands you be relevant to everyone, everywhere, all at once. It demands you process the geopolitical crisis in Eastern Europe, the latest celebrity divorce, and your cousin's breakfast simultaneously. This creates a flattening of the soul. When I first caught myself scrolling at 2 a.m., looking at the lives of people I didn't know and didn't like, I felt the ontological flattening in real time. I felt my own boundaries dissolving. It wasn't just wasted time. It was an eviction. I call this ontological eviction. You are kicked out of your own house, your mind, so that the algorithm can move in. Wait, does this imply we are solved? That if we just put the phone away, we are fixed? It terrifies me to say this, but no. The damage is structural. Your brain has been rewired to expect high-frequency inputs. Silence feels like a threat. Boredom feels like death. To enter the offline renaissance, we cannot just stop using tech. We must actively construct a physical reality that is more compelling, more rigorous, and more dangerous than the screen. We are moving into the 80% practical portion of this transmission. I am going to give you the 3 pillars of the Analog Citadel. These are not suggestions, these are rules of engagement for the sovereign mind. The first pillar is the kinetic shield. The digital world is designed to be frictionless. Swipe, tap, buy, consume. To reclaim your mind, you must reintroduce friction. You must make the digital act physically difficult. Rule 1. The Foyer Protocol. Your phone is a portal. Portals do not belong in the sanctuary, they belong at the gate. When you enter your home, the phone stays in the foyer, on a specific shelf plugged in. It does not enter the bedroom, it does not enter the dining room. If you need to use it, you must stand in the foyer, uncomfortable, like you are using a payphone in a rainstorm. This breaks the dopamine loop. You are turning a leisure activity back into a utility. Rule 2. The grayscale inversion. Go into your accessibility settings right now. Turn your phone to grayscale. The vibrant reds of notification badges are biological triggers. They hack your primate brain's reward system. Strip the color, and you strip the power. When your Instagram feed looks like a Soviet surveillance tape, you'll realize how boring it actually is. Rule 3. The dumb smart device. If you are truly committed, delete the browser, delete the mail app, leave only Maps, Uber, and text. We are creating a kinetic shield. We are making the digital world heavy, slow, and annoying to access. This forces your brain to look for entertainment elsewhere. Where? That brings us to Pillar 2. You cannot replace a bad habit with nothing. You must replace it with a higher order function. This is where we invert the standard advice. Most productivity gurus tell you to use apps, Notion, Evernote, Obsidian. I am telling you to reject them for deep work. Rule 1. Hand-over-eye coordination. There is a profound cognitive difference between typing and writing. Typing is transcription, writing is synthesis. When you write by hand, you are engaging the reticular activating system. You are physically carving the thought into reality. I want you to adopt the Zettelkasten method, but the analog version. Index cards, wooden boxes. Why? Because a screen is a promiscuous surface. It wants to show you a notification, an ad, a new tab. A piece of paper is a monotonous surface. It only wants your ink. It is loyal to your thought. Rule 2. The linear read. Stop reading articles on tabs. Stop saving for later. If a text is worth consuming, print it out. Buy the physical book. Charles Handy wrote about the empty raincoat, the idea that in our rush for efficiency, we lose the person inside the coat. When you read on a Kindle, you are skimming for data. When you read a physical book, you are engaging in a dialogue with the author. You can underline, you can dog-ear, you can throw the book across the room in disagreement. That is a relationship. That is sovereignty. Rule 3. The walk. Nietzsche said, "Sit as little as possible. Give no credence to any thought that was not born outdoors while one moved about freely. Leave the phone. Take a notebook. Walk. The rhythm of your gait synchronizes with your brain waves. This is bilateral stimulation. It processes trauma and it synthesizes ideas. The best ideas of the last 2,000 years were not generated in front of a blue light rectangle. They were generated on walks. We have secured the perimeter, friction. We have secured the workspace, physical substrate. Now we must secure the soul, leisure. The modern tragedy is that we don't know how to rest. We mistake numbing for resting. You finish 8 hours of staring at a medium screen, laptop, only to go home and stare at a large screen, TV, while scrolling a small screen, phone. This is not rest. This is sensory abuse. Rule 1. High-resistance leisure. The offline renaissance demands that your leisure time be difficult. Yes, difficult. Learn to play an instrument, build a table, paint miniatures, bake sourdough, lift heavy weights. Why? Because these tasks require the resistance of the real. When you code, if you make a mistake, you hit backspace. It's consequence-free. If you are sawing a piece of walnut and you slip, you ruin the wood. You might cut your finger. The material world pushes back. Heidegger talked about technology as enframing, turning nature into a standing reserve for our use. When we engage in craft, we reverse this. We reveal the essence of the material. We respect the wood, the iron, the flower. This connects you to the earth. It grounds the electricity in your nervous system. You sleep better not because you bought a supplement, but because you actually used your body and mind in the way they were designed. Rule 2. The analog social protocol. Stop keeping up with friends via likes and comments. That is a simulation of friendship. Implement the dinner party rule. Once a month, host people. Cook food. No phones allowed at the table. The conversation will be awkward at first. Good. Let it be awkward. Push through the awkwardness to find the intimacy on the other side. Let's pause. I can feel your hesitation. But I work in tech. But I need to be reachable. This is the fear talking. This is the addiction negotiating for its survival. Let's run a quick diagnostic. Ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. Can you sit in a room alone for 30 minutes without inputs? If not, you are not free. 2. When was the last time you produced something physical that existed outside of a server? If you can't remember, you are becoming a ghost. 3. Do you control your attention, or does the highest bidder rent it from you for pennies? The offline renaissance is not about becoming a Luddite. I am not telling you to smash your computer. I am telling you to treat the computer like a table saw, a dangerous, powerful tool that you use with protective gear for a specific purpose and then turn off. The future belongs to the analog elite. As the world dives deeper into the metaverse, into AI-generated slop, into the infinite scroll, the ability to think deeply, to focus for hours, and to exist in physical reality will become the scarcest resource on Earth. Scarcity creates value. If you can do this, if you can build this citadel, you will not just be happier, you will be more powerful. You will be the one writing the code, not the one being programmed by it. Look down at your hands again. Close the app. Pick up the pen. Welcome back to the real world.